Hi everyone, welcome to Tammy's Creative Cards and Crafts. I'm Tammy, and this is the tutorial for the gorgeous wreath, Christmas wreath tutorial. And I'm happy to say that everybody that has ordered these beautiful wreaths, let me just light this up here for you. Here we go. And ta-da! Everybody that has ordered these, they are packed and ready to go tomorrow in the mail because we don't have any mail service on Sundays. So I have finished them all up as of yesterday. I'm happy for that. And the people that are doing a lot of people have ordered them already complete, but the ones that have ordered DIY ones, the ones that are going to do them themselves, I'm doing the tutorial for you now. And other people that want to learn how to do them yourself, here is the tutorial. So you will, of course, have this video on my channel that you can refer back to when you receive your goodies in the mail. And first of all, I just wanted to say I hope everybody is doing well. And this has been wonderful, exhausting job, but I've had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm happy to see it's done, but because it was very time consuming, but again, like I had a lot of fun doing them all. And I have some pictures that I'll show on my next video of that we took that shows them all set up before we packaged them all. My husband and I packaged them last night to go in the mail, so it was pretty exciting. So first of all, I'm going to show you these are the 3 different papers that you will need to make these little twigs. Okay, and these are the little twigs that make up the wreath. These little tiny things here. And to make these, you will need a twig punch. Now this one I purchased from Stampin' Up. And to be honest with you, this is punch number 2. Because I have stamped over, well, close to 4,000 twigs doing all the wreaths. So it kind of lost its sharpness. So I had to go out and purchase another punch. And so now we're on punch number 2. But that's the way it goes. So these are the 3 colors that you will need, or that I used to give the color variation throughout the wreath. So the first color is, you will need 60 punched out in, this color is called Old Olive, this one here. You will need 60 punched out in this color, which is called Mossy Meadow. And you will need 60 punched out in this color, which is called Pear Pizzazz. Now, if you happen to not be near a Stampin' Up demonstrator, or you don't buy Stampin' Up products, it's not the end of the world. What you can do is just pick out 3 coordinating green colors that go together. They don't have to be Stampin' Up papers. And maybe you can't find the twig punch, but maybe you can find a punch that has like little branches that look similar to this. That's perfect. Maybe there's a Martha Stewart punch or some other punch that looks close to this, then that'll work fine. It doesn't have to be exact. I've always said on my channel, you make it look like it's yours. It doesn't have to be identical to mine, and it'll be perfect. So those are the 3 colors that I have for my twigs. And again, you'll need 60 of each color, so 180 twigs altogether. And then what I also need is you will need a piece of, now I used the, you can have a choice of using the Pear Pizzazz or the Old Olive. This is the Pear Pizzazz, and now this has a piece cut out, but just just pretend it's not cut out. This piece, before cutting the circle out, was an 8.5 piece of cardstock. Okay, so you want to get yourself a green piece of either an Old Olive or Pear Pizzazz or whatever coordinating green color that you're going to use, but cut it 8.5 by 8.5 square. So 8.5 on each side. And then you're going to fold that in half, and then you're going to fold that in half again, and you're going to end up with a square. Okay? I'm just going to put this little piece back in here so it looks like it goes in there. Actually, this is probably not the piece that came out of here, but it's just one I grabbed. So you'll have a square here. So then what you're going to do is you're going to cut, just let me measure this here. You're going to cut right at the 2 1/4 mark on each side. So make a little notch. So if you put that down and you take your ruler, and you measured that along and measured that to 2 1/4, 2 1/4 there, and 2 1/4 here, you'll get right at, you can make a mark at each end, and you're going to circle that out, and then you'll end up with a circle that will measure halfway open. It will measure at 4 1/2. And when you open that up, that will be your circle 4 1/2. Now, you don't need the circle. It's this piece that you're going to need. So leave it folded into your quarter, and you're going to measure over, measure here. You're going to measure it an 1.25 inches. And you take your scissors and you're going to go around and take your time, and you can go up here and notch off 1.25 inches too to kind of give you a guide, but I've made many of these, so I can kind of judge now. So you want to essentially go up about 1.25 inches and cut that off. And if it ends up being a little bit fatter in there, you can just trim it off a little bit just to round it out so you don't have quite a square. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's going to see this part, so you don't have to worry about it, okay? You just want, this is just going to be your little base that you're going to glue your twigs on. Okay, so you open it up, and when you open that up, if that looks, well, relatively like a circle, you're set to go, okay? So now this is your base now that you're going to use to glue your twigs on. This is the beginning of your wreath. Okay? So what you need is you're going to need some glue. Now what I used, let's see which one has more in it. It's hard to say because I've gone through quite a bit here. What I used was Tombow. This is it's just a white Tombow glue. And I find that this works great. Let's see how much I have left in here. So what you're going to do is you're going to have all your twigs out here, and you're going to have them separated by the different colors. Okay, the dark ones, your pear pizzazz, your mossy meadow, and your old olive. And make sure you have good light, because sometimes it's hard to see the difference between the pear pizzazz and the old olive. Okay, now you're going to have way more than this, but I'm not going to glue this whole wreath because that will take too long. I'm just going to give you an idea of what you do. If I can get this glue going here, just give me 1 sec. Okay. Get my little pin here. Okay. There, I got it started. Okay, so what you're going to do is take your glue. It went on a little thick. That's okay. Take your glue, and now this is what I did, because I found the tacky my glue went on, the better. So I just started to go ahead and go about 1/8 or a little bit more, 1/4 inch apart. See, I'm getting low on glue. I apologize here. Oh, it's clogging up on me. Now I'm making a mess. Okay, so we're going to go here and go around. Here, let me take some of this glue and make lines. Okay. And a little bit of glue right here. Okay, so let's just leave that for now. Let's just grab a wipe here. So now what I did is I applied glue to about half or, you know, a good third of my wreath. And what I find that that did is it helped set up the glue, because I started here, but it set up the glue so it's nice and tacky and not too runny by the time I got to here. So it was almost starting to dry, but not dry. Okay, so what you do is you take your first little twig and you're going to point your twigs going the opposite way of where your glue is. So you're not going to lay your glue or your twig on your glue. You're just going to lay your tip on your glue. So you're going to put one in the middle and pat it down, and then take another color. So this is your pear pizzazz, and it's going to overlap just a tip, and then your old olive, and you're going to overlap that dark one on this side, and you're going to do that. And then now on your next row, where your dark one is in the middle, you're going to put it on the end. So you don't want to have the same color in front of the other color. Okay, so this one is over here, so this time I'm going to place it in the middle. Okay. And then I'll put the light one, which is on this side, I'll put it over here. So they're always rotating. So now I'll put the dark one on this side. One thing I found that helped, instead of getting all my hands all full of glue, is I used a little pencil eraser. I don't have one of those little picks. I know a lot of people have those little picks that you can pick stuff up with. But if you have one of those, that's great. But I used a little pencil eraser, and it would help me place it down without getting glue all over my fingers. So just push that down there, and you don't have to press very hard, just enough so the glue touches it. And so you're just going to keep going around like that. Just give it a little press. You do want to make sure that it adheres, though. That's the only thing. And then you're going to keep going. And it's okay to have little gaps in between, just not too big of gaps. You want to, I mean, there's more than enough twigs to do all the way around. So you're not, even though it may look like you're gonna run out, if you do the way I'm showing you with the spacing apart, you don't need to put them any closer than that than like a quarter of an inch, because they will overlap and you will not see any gaps in between. Okay, so you're going to put that in there. The next one is this light color. My fingers end up getting sticky. So that's why I do like using the so it is really pretty when you get these all done. And I'm just going to stick that one on there because I don't have any more of the dark ones. So that's the way it goes all the way around. Okay? And you're going to do this all the way around, being careful not to flare out around the outside. Try to keep it uniform, going all the way around, making your lines going straight down all the way around when you're going all around your wreath. Okay, so after you do that, you will end up with something that looks like this. Okay, now this already has the lights on it because I have made it for somebody else. I will show you how to put the lights on, but this is what the wreath looks like. You can see it on the back, and yep, that you can see that there's no gaps or anything on there. It's just all filled in, all with all the different colors and everything on there, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Now, as far as the lights, these are the little light kits that I picked up. I actually got them on Amazon, and they come like this, and they already have the batteries on them, and there's quite a few lights on them. I'll show you how they're lit up. Now, I did not put lights down here because this is where the flower and stuff's going to go, and it looks very odd with lights under the flower, and it's just a waste because I wanted to put all the lights up here where you can see it. So what I did is when I started putting the lights on, all you need to do is unravel your lights, okay? And you have one end and it has a little piece of wire. First of all, before you even start, turn your lights on, because there's nothing worse than putting this whole thing on and then realizing that your lights don't work. So just to avoid all frustration, do that. And what I like to do is I like to leave my lights on while I'm putting them on, because then you can actually see where they're going in your wreath and you can set them up properly. So just to show you on this one, now I know this already has lights on it. So how I would start is I leave it, a lot of it raveled up, so it's easier to unravel without it getting all caught and everything. So right on the end, there's a little piece of wire, and I just bend that wire over to make like a little hook, if you can see that. Now that little hook, I am going to hook right around my wreath, just like that. But when I do that, I'm going to bend my wreath so I can get under those twigs. Now this is all glued, so nothing's going to come loose or anything like that. And I'm just going to go in there and hook that little light in there, and then it bends right back and everything is fine. And you can hide that little wire right in there, and then you can see your light. And what you do, you just take your wire around the back, and then you bring it up, and then you can see that your light is over here. Okay, well, if I was to bring that right around, my light would come somewhere around over here. Well, maybe I want a little bit closer here, so what I'm going to do is just bring it over, and there's still some wire left there. So I'm just going to put my finger to the back and just bend that wire over, and that will put the light exactly where I want it. And then all you do is you continue that all the way around, spacing it. Now I have them spaced probably about an inch apart, maybe 3/4 of an inch, all the way around. And these little light sets, let me just count this up for you to tell you how many. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's 20 lights on these sets, and like I said, I got them from Amazon. They're relatively inexpensive, and they're really cute. And the batteries are already included and everything. So I just seen a little loose twig in there, so I'm gonna glue that and stick that right back in there. So you can get some glue on this. There you go. You can purchase them on Amazon, and get them pretty cheap. So, and there again, like if you happen to have a little twig that pops out or something like that, you just get a little piece of glue or a little drop of glue and pop it right back in. It's no big deal. So that is how you put your lights on. And again, if you have any questions about any of these things, if I'm going too fast or anything like that, you can send me an email, make a comment down below, and I will answer you no problem at all. Okay, so I'm just gonna turn the lights off here for a sec. So the next part that I'm going to show you is the flowers and stuff. I'll just move this to the side. Is the the beautiful flowers and stuff that we put on. And I'll show you the finished product so you can see. So these are the beautiful poinsettia, and I put some baby's breath, some leaves, and the beautiful ribbon, and there's actually even some twigs. There's a twig here and a twig here that goes up the side. They're really beautiful. So what we have is the poinsettia came from this die set here. Now this happens to be a Stampin' Up! Die set. It's called Poinsettia Dies. And I used, in this die set, so let me bring it out here. I used this one. This one here. And I also used this inside one that embosses it. See that? And then I used this one here. And then there's another size here. I have to get it in the right way there. A certain way it goes in. That embosses it. It's got to turn a certain way, so I apologize. There you go. And then the next size down is that one. And then the little teeny one right here, which is one piece, but it's already embossed. And then this one, which is the baby's breath, which is absolutely gorgeous. And then I used two different sizes of leaves, which one size is right here. So there's an outside piece and the inside embossing piece. And then the smaller leaf, which is this one here, which is the outside piece and the embossing piece. And then I used this part of a die set, and this one's called Seasonal Layers, and it includes this beautiful branch piece here, which makes these beautiful branches. Here, just let me, there, see those branches? They're absolutely beautiful, and I use them on many, many different cards. I love trees in cards. There's something about trees. They're just gorgeous. It doesn't matter what kind of card. It could be a sympathy card, a birthday card, Christmas. You can make a winter scene, a summer scene, autumn trees are just beautiful. And so these are what made the poinsettias, and that's what made the branches. Just going to put these back here. But I love them because it has the embossing as well as it cuts it out, which is great. Because if anything to make it easy, that's what I like. And if you don't have to put it through so many times. And I love doing this on my new Gemini, which is great. Made it so much easier. And I don't have this all put the way it was in there, so I'll just put this aside and fix that after. Okay, so these are the pieces that actually came out of here. So this is the beautiful embossed, and hopefully you can see that, how it's embossed. The big piece, the next size, the next one, and the little one. So what I'm going to do is you take your bone folder and you just very lightly go around to the petals. I'm dropping everything. Very lightly, just lightly curl those petals just down, and then go to the next one, and you just want to get a little bit around the tips. You don't want to pull too hard because you don't want to rip them, because they are delicate. Okay, and the little one, just a tiny bit, just to give it a little bit of shape. Okay, and here are the leaves that I cut out. So there's two different sizes there, and the smaller one. And here are the branches. And here are the little baby's breath pieces. And there's 3 of those. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this one and you're just going to put a little dab of glue in the middle right there. And then put another dab of glue, and you're going to push those together like that, so that you have your petals off center. You don't want to line them up that way, you want to off center them. And then you take these ones and you want to put them opposite to the petals that you just put down before, and put some glue in the middle there. And then the little ones, you want to do the exact same way, so they're right in the center. And there is your beautiful flower. And then after you have those done, you're going to take these beautiful pearls. I have these flat back pearls, and you're going to place one directly in the middle and one on each petal going all the way around, so that it looks like that. And I just put a dab of glue underneath each one. Now, if you have flat back pearls that have a little bit of adhesive on them, I still suggest that you put a little dab of glue underneath those, because I find that the adhesive comes off after a while and it won't stick. So it's just my suggestion. You're free to do what you like, but I would suggest that you just put a little dab of glue there. Okay. So after you have done that, you are then going to attach your leaves. And you're going to put a little bit of glue right on the edge here, and attach one right there, or wherever you like, going around the poinsettia. You're going to put them in 3 separate spots. So I like to break it down in thirds. So if you put one here, then you put one over on this side and one here. So now you have like a 3-point. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your baby's breath and you're going to put glue on those, and you're going to stick your baby's breath in because I'm not gluing this, I'm just going to put this down on the thing here. So you're going to put your baby's breath in right here, leaving this little gap open for, I'll show you that in a second, and put your other baby's breath in there, okay? And then leave your little twigs there to the side. Now, if you would like to use red ribbon, gold ribbon, silver ribbon, whatever it is that you would like, you choose that now. This particular person wanted some gold ribbon. So I'm going to send them some gold ribbon and give them a choice. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your ribbon. Now I've cut a piece about 11 inches. You can use 10 inches. And you're going to take your ribbon and pretend it's like you're going around somebody's collar, and just make a loop at the top, just like a ribbon you're going to pin on somebody, so that you're not tying it, you're just crossing it at the top, and you're going to leave these hang. Okay, and I cut them on an angle at the bottom. And you're going to just put a little dab of glue under here, or you can use one of those little stickies, the glue dots. You can use one of those. If you have a glue gun, you can use a glue gun. Just put a little dab of something to stick the ribbon together. And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn your flower over and put a little bit of glue on the top here. And I'm just going to lift my flower up here. Now, of course, it will have the leaves and everything attached at the time, but you're going to attach your ribbon to your flower so it hangs down like that, and you'll have your leaf off to the side, this will be on the side of where your baby's breath was over here, so you'll have your ribbon over here, and you'll have left enough room for that. And it looks absolutely gorgeous with the ribbon tails hanging down. Now, if you find that these are too long, you can shorten them. Just make sure that you don't cut them too short, but cut them enough on it to give yourself a little bit for the angle. But it absolutely looks beautiful. And again, if you don't want to use flat back pearls, you can use rhinestones. You can use whatever you like for the middle. There's all kinds of bling that you can use. I just happened to use the flat back pearls because I found that they were kind of classic looking, but it's your wreath. You can decorate it however you like. So after we get all this done, now we're going to go back and attach it to our wreath here. And so after this is all attached, you're just going to turn this over and put a good amount of glue on the back of the ribbon part and your flower. And you're going to put this on your wreath so that your flower is on the bottom, but the ribbon is up on the side. But oh, sorry, you didn't attach your branches, so let me back up here. After you get your ribbon on, you're going to use your branches and stick your branches in. Now, what I do is I bring my wreath over at this time. Just let me show you this part here. Let me put this down, sorry. Not to confuse anybody here. Okay, at this point, I turn my wreath back on. And I bring my ribbon over. And this is all put together now. So after I glue this on my wreath. Okay, so this is already glued on my wreath. And all my leaves pretend it's all glued on and everything. And these are all stuck in here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stick in our branches. So we have two branches. So one is going to go this way, and one you're going to turn around. Okay? Because you don't want to have them going the same way. So one is going to be reverse, so that the little branch on here is going to be, both of them are facing in. So I put a little bit of glue on the bottom, and then you're going to push that underneath your poinsettia and push that down. And what it does, it makes this go up the side of your wreath. Okay? Now I did put a little dab of glue right here on the little branch, because what I found sometimes is that after you get in the wreath, the frame, that little branch ends up sticking way out by the glass, and it just annoys me. So I just take a little dab of glue and just push that down to attach to the wreath. So it might not bother you, but it end up bothering me. So you're going to turn this one over, because this is the right side, but you're going to turn it over to the opposite side. And when it's in the frame, you can't notice. So put a little dab of glue on this side and stick it under your poinsettia again. And you're going to run it up this side of the frame the same way on this side, so they match going up. And stick it in there and glue it. And again, if we want to dab it down, that's the time to do it. And now you have your total wreath done. And again, at this point, I know that those ribbons are going to be a little bit too long once I get them in the frame. I know that because I've already made a lot of frames. However, once you put yours in your frame, you will see. So I would cut those off maybe about 1 inch on each tail. But you decide once you start fitting it in the frame. So that's what it looks like as far as how you do all of your wreath. Now, I'm going to show you how to fix the rest. Okay, so just let me put this aside. There's only a couple more little steps. So as you can see in this finished one, you have a background there in behind the wreath. Sorry about the glare there that's coming on. You have a background in behind the wreath of a beautiful wooded like background. So how you put that in is going to, let me get your frame here. So your shadow box frame, I'm just going to put my wreath here so it doesn't get damaged. So your shadow box comes, okay, so you're going to get your mat. So this is your mat, and you're going to, I'm going to show you what you do with this in a second with your frame. So I'm just going to put that aside. And then inside, you're going to get your glass, and then you're going to get your shadow box piece that comes in here, and this just comes out. Okay, so you're going to take this out. Then you're going to take your glass. Now, it has a protective film on it. That we're just going to take off. And there's one on the other side. Just give me 1 sec. Sorry about the noise. Okay, and then you just, once that film's off, as you can see, now it's down inside. So now you go and take your shadow box and you put that back in there, and now your shadow box is in there. Just a little bit of dust there. I want to make sure that's not in there. Okay, so here, just let me put this to the side so it's out of the way. So here now is your back of your frame. Take this label off. Okay, so your clip to hang it up is at the top. So you always want to make sure that your clip is at the top and that you fold it over so that your clip is at the top when you're doing this. Okay? So then you have, now this is a piece of the wooded designer paper, and this is called In Good Taste Designer Series paper from Stampin' Up, and I cut it to a 6x6 piece of paper. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply glue to the back of it. All to the back. If I can get enough glue to do this. So bear with me. Let me try the other bottle. We're running dry on glue. Okay. Okay, so what you're going to do, spread it all out. Try to get it all over. This might be the end of this bottle. I get what they say, squeeze it to the last drop. Now that's what we're getting, the last drop out of this. I went through 3 bottles of this glue, getting all these wreaths done. It's fantastic glue. There's a little piece of hard glue there, and I just want to take that off. Okay. Okay, you just want to make sure you got all of it. Okay, so then, again, making sure that your clip's at the top. You want to center this in here. Now, again, I know from making many of these, and I'll give you the measurement going around here. Make sure this is straight. This is 2 inches. Okay, and 2 inches go all the way around. So, and you want to take that and smooth it down all the way around, making sure that there's no bubbles or anything. That's why you want to make sure that there's enough glue on there, no lumps, bubbles, nothing. You wouldn't want that to be bubbled up in the background after you went through all the work of making that beautiful wreath. Okay, so there is, I still find that that's coming up a little bit. Okay, so that is essentially what it looks like on your back piece. Again, your lines are going up on your wood grain, and I'm going to turn this around, and there is your clip at the top. It also has your little thing so you can hang your picture if you want to put it on top of something, but if you want to put it on the wall, your clip is at the top. Okay, so just put that aside. Now we're going to go to our mat. So this is the mat that comes with the frame. And this frame is 9 by 9. And so when you go to put this on your mat, now we're just going to pretend again that this wreath already has our flowers and everything attached. You're going to take your mat and you're going to put your little light kit and put it in the hole. Okay? Drop it in the hole. And you want to put your wreath and center it so that it goes over the hole and give it a little press down just because of all the wires there. Okay? And when you look at it, you want to make sure that you're an equal distance from this side and this side. Let me just see here. You want to make sure that you're an equal distance on this side and this side, okay? And from the bottom and from the top. So when you look at it, that's very pleasing to look at, that it's not closer, you know, over here than it is over there. It's nicely centered. It looks very beautiful on that mat. So then what you do is hold that in place and turn that around and lay it down just like that. Okay? Hold that in place. There's your little light kit there. And what you do is you take a pencil and you hold your mat as you're doing this, and take a pencil and go up in the corner here and draw right in the corner the lines of where that is in the corner. Draw here, right on your wreath, draw there, draw here in the corner, and draw over here where your light kit is. That's fine. Okay, you're just going to draw right there on your wreath where that mat meets. So when you take this mat off, now you can see on your wreath where those lines are. See right there, right here, and right there where those lines are. So now what you can do is you know exactly where to apply all the glue for your wreath that is going to attach it to this mat. Now, what I did is I went and I used this glue. This worked great. This is Aileen's original tacky glue. And I did one strong bead, nice bead, going all the way around, staying to the outside of those lines that I made, because you don't want to go on the inside because then you're going to have glue showing, okay? Stay to the outside of those lines in one great big circle, okay? And then put your glue on, lift it back up, go back in, put your light kit down again, keeping your where your lights are not at the bottom, turning it back over, and as you have your glue on it, you can take your mat and line that right up exactly where you had your lines before, and that's going to line up perfectly. And you can give that a gentle press enough that you can flip that back over with the glue on it now. Put that down and now give that a nice press. Now, once you turn it over, if you look at it and you see, oh, maybe it's over a 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch too far, you can slightly push it over or move it up just a slight bit, just to adjust it. There's no problem with that. And you want to hold that down and hold that there for, a few minutes and give it a chance to dry before you start putting it in your frame. So once that dries, then you're going to take that and you're going to put it in your frame, which the mat with your wreath attached goes in next into your frame. Okay, so this would go in here next, just like this. And then your back piece with your wood background goes in next, knowingly that your clip is going to be at the top, so the opposite of where your flowers are. And that is that's your wreath. That's your beautiful Christmas wreath that you have now put together. And this is your final product. Now, let me just... This is your final product. Now, I will tell you this one was a cream poinsettia that I used. One little thing that you might like to do if you end up using white or cream, I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but I did use Stella on my cream and white poinsettias, and they did actually look beautiful because it showed like a shimmer. But I didn't care for the effect too much on the red because I found that it showed up kind of different. But it did show up beautiful on the white. So that is the tutorial on the beautiful Christmas wreath. Again, everybody that has ordered the finished ones, they will be going out in the mail tomorrow. And I can send you your tracking numbers if you'd like me to do that. You can let me know. Everybody else that is getting the ones to put together themselves, again, if you have any more questions about anything of how to put them together or anything I didn't explain properly, let me know. But you're going to get little kits with all your twigs that are all individually wrapped, with your ribbons and your flowers all cut out, your twigs, your light kit, your everything that you're going to need to make your beautiful wreaths. So just the same as the Halloween kit. Everything is going to come to you, and you're just, all you have to do is put it together. So I hope that you really enjoyed this tutorial, and again, I was very happy to make it for you. I'm looking forward to the next project that I can come up with that we can do, and I hope everybody is well. I pray for everybody that needs prayers right now, and God bless to each and every one of you. Hugs and kisses to everyone, and you all take care. Bye-bye.